So if I show you here, so over here on the right, this is the fast can shoot, and you can see the red's good, by the way. Red's good. Red's new. Red's the next level of what we're doing. Yellow is a historical piece of data that we've been doing out here up until last year. And so my presentation, I'm not going to give the whole presentation, but I'm going to talk a little bit about the history, because I think history gets lost, and if we don't know what we did or what we didn't do,
right,
we can't figure out how to fix what we're doing going forward here. So I've got a slide here, I think. This one here, I'll just, this here kind of really states the history of 3D seismic in the Permian.
Okay.
So back in the early 1990s to 2000 time frame, we had a bunch of equipment that was patched together. There's a bunch of 2D equipment, essentially, attempting to do 3D seismic data.
Oh, wow. Okay? Merging 2D to make 3D.
So you're gridding these 2D lines for the most part.
Well, it's just the equipment in the field. We set it up. We were actually collecting 3Ds, but it was hard. It was cumbersome. It was tough. By the time we got to about 2000, we'd actually designed enough acquisition equipment to actually collect a 3D. And so you went this kind of the first step change was about 2000 to 2010, and that's where most of this data gets collected in the old days. And so we developed a way of looking at the subsurface off of this real data set here. And then in 2010, one of those yellow plots I showed you a minute ago, Fairfield showed up, and we showed up in the Delaware Basin, and we shot something called DB1, Delaware Basin Phase 1.
Okay.
That was a step change. This step change from here to here really, if you go over here to this chart here, this is another way to measure what we're doing out here. If you look at traces per square mile, you know, the first equipment was collecting about 56,000 traces per square mile. Well, we got some 3D seismic equipment out there. Dawson started running. You know, we were up to about 240,000 traces. That was a 5-time factor. And then when we showed up to shoot all that yellow program that we call Delaware Basin Phase 1, we did the next step change. We went up to about 1.6 million traces. And so it's decent data.
What
it's good data.
Hell?